welcome to my channel. Today's topic of conversation, why everything is perfect as it is. What does that actually mean? Because you hear that a lot, don't you? I don't know that it's the best phrase, because when you don't feel like everything's perfect, you don't want to hear that it's perfect. You think, well, I don't think this is perfect, so don't tell me that it is. So I'm just going to explain what that means to me. I just look at it as everything is just as it should be at the moment, as in it's right for me, because there's nothing judging and there's nothing planning my life for me apart from me, nothing plotting anything behind my back and to give me different results because it feels that this is better for me and that is better for me. But the thing is, we know what is good for us. So let's say I'm going to pick out an example. So there's a specific person you want to manifest. You really want them. They're not maybe particularly good for you. Maybe they haven't treated you that well in the past. So part of you knows this, knows they haven't treated you very well, knows that actually maybe they're not all that, maybe they're not good for you. Maybe there are better people out there for you, but you're just hooked on the wanting them. But that stuff going on inside of you is what you actually believe to be true. Those other little things, you believe those things to be true. Nothing's true, nothing's false. It's whatever you decide it is. But you've got that going on at the moment. So if you've got that going on at the moment, then that's there for a reason. And that is there because you've probably been treated badly. So why would you not have those feelings? That's fine. If you could do as I do now, which is it's taken me a long time to get to this point. And it's not because I've practiced getting to this point for a long time. I just didn't get the subconscious like I do now. I'm not an expert on it. I kind of feel like I am an expert on my own subconscious, but I'm not qualified in that respect. But I really feel so much different about things now because of the subconscious mind and because of what it can do and what it does do all of the time, and we're not completely aware of what it's doing. So let's say you could be as I am and go, okay, I want this in my life. I'm pretty sure I want this thing. I know there's that other stuff going on because that's why it hasn't shown to me. Because reality is just showing to me what I'm feeling, what I am creating. It's my creation, it's nothing else's creation. What if I just go, okay, well, I'm probably feeling and thinking those things for a reason. And the more I try to hammer over them with the want for it and try to get rid of all this, they're just going to fight back. So why don't I just let them be, just let everything be as it is, thinking they will get lighter, because they will. They absolutely will. If you do this, you will just change the way you feel. You'll wake up one morning and you just won't have some of those feelings anymore, or all of those feelings, or just one of them will be gone. Because this happens to me all of the time. I will realise why I'm not seeing what I want. I will realise what else is going on in there, and I will think, okay, well, at the moment, it's probably right that it's not in my life for me. Not that anybody else is making the decisions. I'm making it really, but I'm trying to force things out. So we don't do that. What if we just go with it and go, okay, I am going to lighten up on these things if I just let them be for the time being. Let my subconscious process whatever it's processing at the moment, and then just let it lighten up on stuff. Things will become less important to me because my subconscious, I will not keep kind of feeling it and trying to battle with it. So they will just disappear. You know, it's like the fact that I always thought I'd never have a YouTube channel. Never would I have one. I had huge resistance to it. Now I couldn't care less. So, you know, other things that have happened in my life that haven't been right for me at the time. And they've kind of really, I've wanted them really, and I've kind of thought they are right, but I know there's something in there niggling me going, but yeah, but this and but that. Now, fighting with that would just prolong the whole thing. It'd be way longer before anything showed up in my life, until I eventually went, oh, okay, there's nothing I can do about that. I've just got to leave it for the time being. You can call it letting go, you can call it allowing, you can call it whatever you like, but all you are doing is leaving your subconscious to it, knowing really what's in there. So become aware. You definitely become aware of what it is in there. And then you go, okay, why is that there? Because this has happened to me and that's happened to me. And I'm just processing it. My subconscious is processing it. I need to leave it, do whatever it needs to do. And it will show to me at some point if I stop interfering, if I stop messing around and thinking I know better, because my rational brain has its part to play. So you can talk to your subconscious and go, I know all of this is in there. I know why this isn't showing at the moment because of this, but I am going to let it be for the moment. But I would like you to let this go. I would like you to let these issues go and allow me to feel free of these things. So I would like you to loosen up. It doesn't matter what you say to it, it's whatever sort of language works works for you and whatever sort of terms work for you. So you've given up that instruction, and then you just got to leave it. You've got to leave it alone, knowing that it's only showing to you what you're creating yourself. Nothing is a creation of anything else. It's all your creation, and you are creating it, whether you want to believe that or not. Part of you knows it, really. I think that's the thing. I've always known it, really, and whatever I've tried to pretend isn't happening, I've kind of really known it. But if you can get on board with that and go, okay, like, yeah, I do have these opposing things going on. I know I do, and they are there for a reason. So why don't I just leave them alone? I know they're there. I don't want them anymore. I'd like them to go away. I've instructed my subconscious that, but at the moment they're there, and so this is what's showing. So okay, let's just leave it alone, because if I do that, I am going to see what I want at some point, because those things are going to lessen. They're going to lessen in intensity. They may be swapped with something else, because I've given that instruction that that's what I want. So at some point that is going to happen. What you have to do is tap into what you do want and not what you don't want. You have to stop thinking about what you don't, not stop thinking about it, but stop stressing about what it is now. You have to stop ruminating on what is happening and what has happened. You have to stop doing that. You have to just let it be for now. Go, it's not what I want, this is what I want. But if you make the clear instruction of what you do want, you don't have to keep going on and on about it to yourself. You just make that clear instruction, this is what I do want. So forget what you don't want, because that's kind of irrelevant. If you keep thinking about what you don't want, you get what you don't want, because that's what you are focusing on. But if you allow your subconscious to do what it's designed to do, knowing pretty much what is in there, but knowing that if you just leave it alone, it will deal with it. It will deal with it in whichever way, because you have told it that you want it to, then it will. You just got to ask it the question. You know, it's a bit like, it's Neville Goddard, isn't it? Ask and it is given. Somebody told me that, oh, that's Abraham Hicks's way of asking and it is given. You're talking to your subconscious, and I didn't know that. But that is what you're doing. If you get used to talking to your subconscious and asking it stuff, because you're not asking anything outside of you, it's only asking yourself, but that part of you, so there's the other part of you, it's two parts of you, so the other part of you that makes the magic happen. You get used to talking to it, asking it for stuff all the time. Oh, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And you really do that a lot, and you'll see things happening and easily, and you'll think, you'll get on with that. That's what I did. I was asking for lots of silly little things, going, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you sort this out for me? Can you sort that out for me? And then I think, oh, that's been sorted out. So many things, even down to Jeremy was really, really ill the other weekend, and I just wanted him to feel better. So he felt better within half an hour. I said, oh, I suddenly feel better, really randomly. Then he didn't have an appetite, and I wanted him to get his appetite back. And so I just say, oh, can you make sure that Jeremy's appetite comes back? And then 5 minutes later, he's like raiding the fridge and going, oh, I feel like eating now. You know, things like that, little things like that all of the time. And then you'll see those, and you'll just then get more and more faith in the fact that this is what's going on. Do it with the bigger things. Just keep doing it, keep asking, and it will keep being given to you. The more you do it, the more it will happen. But if you're ruminating on the negative, what you're doing is asking for the negative. If you look at it like that, if I ruminate on the negative, if I ruminate on the past, if I dwell in the negative, then I'm just going to get that, because that is basically what I'm asking for. Only I'm not purposely asking for it, but I am, because that's the feeling I'm going with. But if I just keep asking for the good stuff and not ruminating on the bad, then at some point that good stuff's going to come. I found, like with the smaller things like that, just happen really quick, all of the time. Yes, one thing after another, even to changing appointments and all kinds of things. The bigger things, I kind of can feel that part of me thinks that probably won't happen as soon as, but I know it's going to happen at some point. It will happen if I just leave it alone. So I'm asking, and I might ask more than once. You don't have to ask more than once, but sometimes if say 3 weeks have gone by, or 4 weeks, for example, I might go, subconsciously, you haven't forgotten about that, have you? I still want this. Just remind it, because I think that just makes me feel better. But I'm not doing it all the time. I'm just doing it when I see time has passed, and I think, I don't know what could be going on in there. But I guarantee you, if you haven't seen what you want, it's because something is going on in there, and your subconscious is dealing with that and not showing it, or showing it to you, dependent on that. It will be what's going on inside of you. I know a lot of the time people don't want to hear that, but if you could really, really get on board with that and accept it, things would be easier. You would accept stuff more, you would let things be, you would leave things alone, you wouldn't stress so much about things, or any at all about things. because you'd have that kind of acceptance that it was going to show up at some point. It's not acceptance that it will never happen. You can have that too, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about acceptance of what is now and just not pushing for this to show up. Just saying to yourself, when this shows up, it will be the perfect time, because it will mean that all of that stuff inside of me has gone. So it will be the perfect time, because that stuff inside of me won't be there to haunt me and bug me again in the future. I really hope this made sense. It was a very difficult one to put into words. I know what I mean. I hope everybody else knows what I mean. But it's quite a difficult one to put over. It just is. Just one of those things that's quite difficult for me to explain. Much easier for me writing it down than it is for me actually saying the words. But hopefully it came across okay. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I'd love for you to do that.